Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about something different, and that's my champion pool in high elo. Very often I get asked questions on like, oh, who are the best champs to climb with? What are some alternatives to this champion? So here I got some really amazing solo queue champions that aren't too hard to learn at the skill floor, but also have a rewarding and really insane skill ceiling. I'm going to give some tips on how to play them, common mistakes, and lead you towards a direction of where you can get started. So anyways, let's begin! Of course I have to be biased to my first option, and that's gonna obviously be Yorick. Yorick right now is a hidden beast. He has insane damage potential, the strongest pushing in the entire game, and he can snowball really well with plates and tier 2 money. Nobody knows how to beat him, and it's a great time learning him, especially the meta change of Gangplank coming back and the durability changes as well, where everyone's going to be more durable. This will benefit Yorick a lot. Yorick's going to be really good into those scenarios. Not only that, he's just a super OP champion right now. Nobody bans him, nobody plays him, so you'll be able to get him 90% of the time. Meanwhile, a lot of the meta top laners, like Fiora, will get banned very frequently, and then everyone sort of knows what Fiora does. Who the fuck knows what Yorick does? I play in high elo all the fucking time. I can guarantee you nobody knows what the fuck Yorick does, alright? So right now, Yorick can be played as many different roles. There's two main roles that are very popular right now. There's the more assassin style, and there's a much more common tanky juggernaut bruiser style of Yorick. And how I play him, more as a mix, but more so assassin, right? Regardless, he has really good damage of ghouls and maiden. Everybody underestimates him. The reason why people underestimate Yorick's damage is because his damage isn't in his actual Q or his abilities or whatever. It's in his ghouls and maiden. So when Yorick engages on you, the damage coming from Yorick isn't coming from Yorick, it's coming from ghouls. Imagine you're playing against Annie, and Annie full combos you, right? And it does 20% damage, but then Tibbers does 80% of damage. That's basically what Yorick is, right? That's why Yorick is so good, and everybody underestimates him. Now that we got onto that funny part, let's move on to some simple tips on how to play him, right? So one tip is, Hullbreaker is a really fucking good item. Even though it's gonna get nerfed in the next patch, it's still really fucking good. Who would have thought, guys? Having that insane resist, having insane health, damage, increased split pushing ability, it's amazing. In the new patch, I'm gonna guess you're gonna have to building it 3rd or 4th item. Another tip is, Yorick is really weak without ghouls. So you want to avoid fighting as much as possible unless you have a few with you, right? So you see a lot, if you watch my Yorick gameplay, I get the fuck away the second I see anybody and I have nothing on me, right? The difference is, Yorick can use all abilities anytime she wants. Yorick can as well, but they're gonna be really fucking useless. Yorick without ghouls is like an Annie without fucking Q, W, and R. So it's pretty depressing. You're gonna need ghouls always at you at all times, right? Now those are the two main tips I'm gonna give to Yorick players who want to start playing him. I already have a guide on how to play him, that's why I'm not going to give too much information away. So if you're going to look no further than the guide I created for Yorick, it's going to explain every basics you know on how to play him, and yeah, good luck. Alright, the second one to my list is going to be Darius. So right now, with the recent Darius buffs to his ult, Darius is an absolute menace, especially if you're good at him, right? He has really high damage, insane snowball potential. It's a bit different to Yorick, where Yorick could still push even harder. If Darius snowballs, he just wins team fights 1v5. It's insane, right? It's super fun. A lot of people nowadays still underestimate his ult damage just because it recently got buffed, and he has a very similar style to Yorick as well. I'm gonna draw illusions to Yorick because he's my main champion, where instead of running into the enemy and just like slamming into them, you can you get the option to kite around, play slow, stack up bleed, and then just go for that big dunk and go ape shit. Then you're gonna run them down, right? He's really fun. There's so many good skins on him as well, where you get the different R animations, the different Q animations. God damn. God King Darius makes my cock erect. Anyways, yeah, I've been playing a lot more, especially in the more split push style, and you can get yourself really ahead in 1v9 games. So I'm gonna give a general gist of how I play him, right? This is how I play, my style. I play very aggressive in lane. I run Ghost Flash, I try to get solo kills so I can snowball myself to get plates as well with Triforce. And I get a massive lead of money XP, very similar to Yorick, right? After this I continue to split push to build it up. When you split push effectively, it becomes very hard to kill you and it's really safe. I do camps a lot like Yorick due to his passive, which got buffed a while ago, which does triple damage to camps, where the bleed stacks does triple damage. And I go for T2 towers and scale to my power spikes, right? This is different to Yorick, where I will go for skirmishing and teamfight a lot more as well. If I see the opportunity where I think it's advantageous, right, I'll look for it. And if there's flanks, I'll do it as well, because if Darius can get a squishy, he can 1 auto WQ, insta dead of ult. And then if you get that reset, it's over. Because not only do they miss a squishy out, you also get your passive off. So Darius is incredible. You can survive and get a single reset because everybody has to run away or cut you out. But have fun cutting a ghost Darius with fucking 20 movement speed items, right? Sometimes if my team is really behind and I know that fight is doomed, I'm just gonna push instead. I'm not gonna try to help them. It's much more better to go for consistent objectives like inhibitors and towers. So I'll go for inhibitors, right? And the reason why inhibitors is really good for Darius is because it forces reducing a person by 1 because they're gonna deal with inhibitors is really big, because then that's one less person to deal with you, right? So you might be noticed that I talked earlier about, oh, I try to get 2 towers and scale to certain power spikes. I'm going to talk over the really big power spikes from Darius. Level 6, level 11, level 16, Mythic, Death Stance, and the 5th item. So every level of R is going to give you massive amounts of damage, right? Makes it so that you can R super early and you get resets. When you hit level 16, nobody expects the damage and you can easily fucking just clean house. Mythic is self-explanatory. You're going to be really strong when you hit your first Mythic, obviously. Death Stance is an incredible item because the heal actually scales off attack damage. You know, 150% scaling, which is bonkers, by the way. And your passive coincidentally gives you like a 20 trillion attack damage. So it works perfectly with Darius. Let's say you get an R reset and another R reset, right? You heal like 500 health or something ridiculous. Gives him a lot of survivability because of the bleed as well. You can survive a lot longer. Here's another item which really good, More as well. More is very similar to the damage scaling of Darius, where the damage scaling of the shield works with Darius' passive. 5th item seems weird. Why 5th item in Darius? But think about it, right? 5th item as Darius usually implies that it's the last tank item, and that makes you this massive figure, because then you're gonna have Death Stance armor and then your MR from your 4th and 5th item, and then a bit of health, right? That's why it's really good. So here's a good basis for some Darius builds: Triforce, Mercury or Tabbies, Death Stance, Mortius, Dead Man's Blade, and Guardian Angel. And another build could be Stride Breaking Self Triforce, right? The last champion is gonna be a very controversial one, and that's gonna be Gangplank. Gangplank is a really strong champion. He's only countered by range champions, something that Yorick does really good into if you decide to learn these 3 champions. He has excellent scaling and can help out his team with his ult, while having the potential to split push as well. I play Gangplank very similar as well to all my other champions, where I'll try to stomp lane, and then after I stomp lane to get plates and stuff, I'll go for tier 2 towers to get myself ahead. It also works amazing with money, because a few crit items can easily give him the opportunity to carry with a few barrels. It's very similar to Yorick with regards to setting up barrels. You need to set up barrels like you need to set up ghouls and stuff. And it's really good team fighting like Darius, where it has insane damage barrels and life-threatening ultimates. Gangplank can really easily clear counters, lets himself accelerate himself even further, and has the opportunity to do really fun, incredibly hype plays with the barrels, right? The difference between Gangplank and the champions I play is, instead of going for inhibitors and tier 3 towers, I'm going to be threatening flanks and doing sneaky plays with barrels. Usually there are angles where you're playing top lane, right? And it's really hard to do something. Gangplank's OP because he creates angles, right? So what I mean, his barrels can be comboed together to do some pretty crazy stuff. I'm gonna give some examples. In siege and engagement scenarios, you can just look for barrel angles to look for a pick. And in disengaged scenarios, you can just let your teammates be bait and then go for a big barrel to win the fight anyways. I'm gonna show you the few combos you can do with Gangplank. Keep in mind, I've played this champion for like a billion years, so it's gonna take some time to get used to as well, right? Anyways, his power spikes include every single item, level 17, 13, and his 5th item. Level 7 and 13 tick down the barrel faster, so you can have impact faster, and you can just shoot them earlier so that you can, make them explode. Your 5th item is usually Infinity Edge. It gives that last touch of damage so that you can go for one-shots, and that's about it. Here's the builds: Essence, Prowlers, Lucidities, Collector IE, and LDR. This is the complete one-shot build, where you're just gonna blow everything up in one shot, right? Now, you might have noticed about my champions that every single of these top champions are really good at doing camps. That's the starting thing of really strong top lane right now. If you're able to clear camps to get yourself ahead, or also being able to clear towers to snowball, it's really important, because it lets you solo carry games and you don't need to rely on your teammates to do it, right? Anyways guys, thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Have a good one everyone, and good night. My flesh golems.